Okay, so we have a famous. How do you call yourself? A magician. Yeah,
not exactly famous. Well, maybe famous with a few dozen people.
Okay.
My fame spreads to a few dozen people, maybe.
Well,
which is a start, isn't it?
It's quite a start. Anyways, I'm here with the famous magician
and Imagineer.
Alpine, yes. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just hard for me to memorize names clearly.
Even though you've known me for 13 years plus.
Okay, the magician. So you were saying you would like a divorce from the universe.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. It's just like this relationship with the universe is just not working out. It's not really working for me. This, isn't it? I think there must be far nicer universes out there, and I can even imagine some of them in my imagination exercises. So basically, I'm just single. I'm ready to mingle. Universe speaking in terms of universes.
How did you arrive at this conclusion that you want to divorce from the universe?
Well, it's just, you come to the conclusion that it's an abusive relationship. And then you spend a lot of time, you spend many years or even decades justifying the abusive relationship. It's probably me. It's probably it can't be the universe. No. The universe has got my best interests at heart. It's it's trying to teach me something. No, that's just gaslighting. My universe is a prick and I want a divorce from it.
How does the universe feel about that?
I don't give a shit. It's none of my business. Not anymore. It's none of my business anymore.
But how did you end up in this abusive relationship?
I think I was just born into it.
So was it like a conscious choice or was it something prearranged?
Well, obviously I draw a bit of a blank at this particular incarnation, but when I use my imagination, I suspect that I thought it was a good unit. It kind of sold this idea that I could advance my soul or whatever, just evolve my beingness in the right direction. I think it talked a good talk that being born into this universe will do me good. But it's just been getting shitter every single year for at least the last 25 years. And I've just lost confidence that it's going to stop being shit.
Wow, you're quite patient. 25 years.
I know. Well, you could say patient. I think I've been an absolute sucker. There's one born every minute, isn't there? Well, that was me, on that particular day. I was the one.
How did you notice that the relationship was changing?
Between me and the universe?
Yes.
Well, I think it kind of sneaked upon me, really. It's only relatively recently I've realized that it doesn't really matter what I do, whether I feel empowered or whether I feel disempowered, whether I make a great deal of effort or whether I make no effort whatsoever and just play computer games in my underpants. I don't really seem to really get much traction. It doesn't seem to reciprocate. Kind of a breach of contract. I think my understanding was there was actually supposed to be some payback, some reciprocity, and I've not been getting the reciprocity thing beyond a basic subsistence level.
So you were saying
my needs are only being fulfilled at the most basic of levels.
Okay,
that ain't it.
So you're saying at times you get like breadcrumbs at the most.
Yes, I get flung a few stale crusts soaked in rancid bacon fat or something, and I have to eat them off the floor. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you empower yourself to get out of this abusive relationship?
How did I? I haven't. I'm just considering it.
But you arrived at the conclusion.
Yeah, it's a big jump, though, isn't it? It's a big jump, to kind of divorce.
But it sounds very like this raw, authentic realization. this is quite big.
Yeah, well, I dare say that from what I know about such abusive relationships, the universe may actually try to love bomb me for a while, and it might even sort of let me eat a reasonably nicely made sandwich, metaphorically speaking, instead of just flinging bacon rinds onto the floor for me to lap up with my tongue. It might do that for a while, but that's how it reels you in again, and you start thinking, maybe it's not the universe, maybe it's me, it's probably me, it's probably my fault because I spend too much time playing computer games in my underpants and drinking beer and all this kind of stuff. But the only reason I do that is because whenever I've tried not to do that for sustained periods of time and worked my butt off, all I ever get is the stale bacon rind on the floor. So
you're saying once you really resolved yourself and you make a conscious choice, there's no going back.
Well, exactly. You have to respect your boundaries, don't you? Maybe even especially with universes, because, they got a lot of tricks in the bag, these universes.
Like what?
Well, they can offer you stuff, can't they? But, they don't, but they can. They've got all this sort of stuff and they can kind of parade it in front of you and they can point to examples of people who they reward lavishly, even though they're complete dicks. And, and they can say, that could be you! Just keep playing the game. You're nearly there. Just push that little bit harder. You might just be literally just a wafer thin little bit away from the big gold nugget at the bottom of the mine, and you're turning back. Okay. Now's not the time to turn back. Don't leave me.
Soon. Yeah,
or exactly, or it gives you the soon shit. It's abusive as fuck. It is abusive as fuck, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Yeah, it sounds like you really empowered yourself and you have come a long way to this, very authentic realization, as painful as it sounds. So once you really manage to get out of this relationship, what are the next steps? Where do you see yourself?
Well, I don't know if there are any dating apps for universes, but if there is, maybe I can gently hang myself on the shelf because it's been like 50 years. But, I'm probably a bit rusty. But on the other hand, maybe I don't need a universe,
Oh, so you want to go completely off grid?
Well, it's a big step. I don't know. Can I do that? Can I actually stand on my own 2 feet without a universe supporting me?
Would you then perhaps create your own universe?
Well, being an imagician and an idea monger, I can certainly do that in a very kind of nebulous way, but whether it can kind of coalesce into anything physical or not,
I guess that's the big challenge.
That's the big challenge, yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting.
It might take a few billion years.
Yes, okay, so
I've heard that's how long it can take to
probably more incarnations.
Yeah, probably a few at least, yeah.
Okay. Just staying within the boundaries of this incarnation, and so what will your next concrete steps be?
Well, steps. How does one divorce a universe?
Exactly.
I'm sure the universe will try to convince me that it can't be done, but that's the kind of low down, kind of sneaky trick I expect it to pull.
And you're prepared for it?
Yeah. Okay. I would say so. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less. So
you want to see this through?
I definitely want to. Sort of. I mean business. Yeah, okay. I mean business.
Okay. So, would you want to give us just a little hint on what you're planning to do next?
No, I don't know. I can't really work that out right now.
Okay. So it's totally.
I just know that I'm done.
You're done. Okay.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if we maybe check back with you in a couple weeks and see where you stand?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, don't be too disappointed if I get suckered back in, because we've been here before. You know how it goes. The universe starts like sort of love bombing you again. It gives you a couple of little shiny little carrots that are just out of reach, but only you think, I could definitely reach that shiny carrot.
Mm-hmm. Very fabulous, very enlightening. Many valuable insights we have gained.
You have my permission to put a bullet through my head if I'm back there in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, well, so we will check back with you and see what your progress has been. Very curious to see how this unfolds, but thank you very much for your time and for sharing your insights.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for your interview.